Hi, this is Madhurika and welcome to my channel. I'm the biggest fangirl of the city London. I love, out of all the cities I've visited, London have always been my best, and it's still date it's my best. No matter how many times you go there, there's always the same things that you see, but also it's just something that will stay with you for a very long time. And I've listed down 12 tips that you need to remember before you visit London for the first time, or even if it's not your first time. These are definitely going to help you. So let's get started. First thing is, people is going to start calling you with love and darling. Just get used to it. It's their way of addressing you, and in restaurants or in cafes, and it's very normal. The currency that is used is pounds and not euros. Speaking of currency, this is the best thing I love about London, is that you do not need cash to carry it. It's the best thing. I love it when you don't need a cash. You can all use Oyster cards for the travel around the city. Even if you do not have Oyster cards nowadays, you can just tap on the detector every time you enter the train station and get out of the train station. Just tap. There's one tip that I can tell you: do not buy those group tickets or those tickets from the booth. It will really cost you a lot. If you tap and pay, that is something at the end of the day it gets deducted. So it's a really good, economical and a great convenient option to just tap and move ahead. Make sure your tap is on though, and it works on all cards, debit, credit cards that you can use. The city is really cashless, so that's the best part. You can just roam around with your card and you're good to go. Speaking of traveling, the trains are called underground and not trains. And I remember once I was just standing at the bus stop and I asked lady of how am I going to go to this place, and she mentioned you just take an underground. And I asked, where is this underground? Because I kind of assume that people do call trains as trains, but they actually mention just okay, take the underground, that means you take the train. There is a great connectivity of east, west and central London. Another thing that I really like going around in central London is by Uber boat. Now this is one of the attractions also. If you want to skip the cruise and if you just want to skip like one train ride, then you can take like a Uber boat, and I would recommend to take during the night time and the sunset when the city lights just come up. It costs around the same, but you'll just have a different experience altogether. Best time to visit London. Now the best time to visit London, as most of them say, and the peak season is summer. And honestly speaking, coming from India, best time to visit London, what I felt was Christmas, because it is the city of Christmas lights and Christmas decor. Like London is more Londoning when the coats are out and sweaters are out, and you feel the crisp of winters. I don't know if you relate to me, but this is something that I personally would recommend, and not really summers because it's so crowded. Tip or something that I would like to highlight over here is when you cross the road, please press that button and then you cross. Just wait for the signal to come in. We as Indian, or me personally living in Mumbai, we do not really have that option of pressing the button and then crossing the road. We just cross it, and you can really lead to major accidents. Like I've heard horrible stories about it. And so make sure you press it, wait, relax, and then just cross the road. Please press the button and only then you cross the road. Next is London Bridge. Now what about London Bridge? So it's actually known as Tower Bridge and not London Bridge. Of course, if you say London Bridge, everyone will recognize it and give you the direction of it, but it's a fun fact that it is known as Tower Bridge. So don't get surprised when you get there and read that it's called Tower Bridge. By the way, you cannot miss this attraction. It's something, I don't know, I don't think there's any bridge as London Bridge that you'll see. And make sure you go on top of it also, because you can go, and there are a lot of people who think that you cannot go on the top of London Bridge. Now, as we all know, that British English is very different from the English that I've learned all my life, but it's also the pronunciation that can get super difficult to pronounce, and some of it, which is the main touristic places, which is difficult to pronounce, which is Leicester Square and not Leicester Square, Trafalgar Square, River Thames and not Thames River but River Thames, and the best one is Greenwich and not Greenwich. Looking at it, you'll obviously pronounce it as Greenwich, but it's Greenwich. And the last one is Buckingham Palace and not Buckingham Palace, Buckingham Palace. Next tip is you can use City Mapper or Google Maps to get around the city. It's the best way you can locate the places or even see the proximity, whether you need to go walking or take a tube, train, Uber, anything. Uber works great, by the way, if you're looking for taxis, but I would recommend Google Maps. It works best. It has always given like proper timings of the buses and everything, and it's one of the convenient options that you can go for. Another tip is do not go in pajamas for your breakfast. It's a very British thing. They are all very dressed up, like not very dressed up, but they are modest. They'll wear jeans or just proper tracks and proper clothes whenever you're out or going for fine dining, so keep that in mind. So that was it about London. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any more tips or questions, just leave them in the comments below, and thank you for watching.